When I'm ready to create our ads, which is for me is the fun part of the process. Really, it's really where the rubber hits the road, and quite frankly, people don't spend enough time on this. So you're in the right place. Pay attention, but hopefully you'll find this as fun as I find it. So again, in general, you're going to be doing this one ad group at a time. Not always the case. Sometimes we can test the same ad across multiple ad groups and just change the title in the ad for different ad groups. That's one thing we can do. But I'm assuming in this case that we're going to be doing this on an ad group by ad group basis. I think it helps to follow a formula when you're creating ads. A mistake a lot of people make is they open up the AdWords interface and then they start typing, and it's very hard to write a good ad when you don't have a good understanding of the context of where the ad's going to actually appear. So you need to have your market research open from earlier, particularly the Swiss Army knife section. If you've been through that, it's definitely worth having open, because you need to know what the other ads in the search results page are saying before you can write an ad yourself, because that's what you're competing against here. As a rough guide, I mean, the number of ads you create is largely dictated by the search volume. The more search volume you have, the more ads you can create. But as a rough guide, or as a rough minimum, I'd create 2 keyword-driven ads. I'll show you some examples of that in a minute. One Swiss Army knife ad based on your research, and one ad that includes a client or customer testimonial. So in this ad group bows, I've set up a number of ads. So there's two ads that are keyword driven, that are quite focused around the main keyword. So that's one reason why you should have lots of different ad groups where the main keyword is really highlighted in the ad group name. Makes it easier when you're writing ads, because you need to make sure in some of those ads that you have the keyword in the title, and preferably in the description of the ad as well, in the description line, in the description lines of the ad as well. So I've got 2 keyword driven ads. So I've got one that says quality archery bows, £20 to £60 height from £499. Own your own spider killing machine. These 2 ads follow a slightly different format. You're going to create one that has keyword, title, feature, benefit, and then you're going to create another one that has keyword, title, benefit, call to action. You'll probably find that they perform similarly, but one will do better than the other. So in this ad, we've got keyword driven title, so quality archery bows, so bows is our main keyword. Feature, so what the product is, and benefit, own your own spider killing machine. If you have never done archery before, that probably won't mean very much, but in the middle of an archery target there's a small X that's about 1 millimeter square, and if you hit that little X in the middle of the target, you're known as a spider killer. So that's really the benefit of having a really good bow. Obviously being able to shoot it is being able to kill the spider. So that's what I'm getting at with the benefit. So you're going to create one ad that has feature, benefit, and then obviously your display URL and destination URL is up to you. And then another ad that has keyword, title, benefit, call to action. So I've used the same benefit in this case, own your own spider killing machine, and then the call to action is order online, free shipping. So with the call to action, you want to be using imperatives, buy now, order here, call today, that sort of thing. The display URL can be different from your destination URL. So your destination URL, particularly if you have an e-commerce site, might be something like index.php ID equals blah, which obviously isn't very user friendly. You don't have to use that. You can put in anything you want here, as long as the domain here is the same as the domain that people actually end on. You can put something else in here. So we could put in quality bows, and this is another way to get the keyword into the ad actually. The next thing you're going to do is, well, let's come back. So we've created 2 keyword driven ads. I would then create a testimonial ad. So a testimonial will look something like this. Put it in quotation marks, gets a lot of attention by doing that. So try putting in, so again we've got keyword in the title, quotation, and then I've sort of combined feature and call to action here in the second description line. You're also going to create a Swiss Army knife. So, well, I'll come back to that within a minute. So the Swiss Army knife is a very different ad. The mistake that many people make is they test the same ad. They might test 20 versions of the same ad and then wonder why all the ads they create effectively suck. So you need to create ads that are quite different. So if you've been through the Swiss Army research process, then you'll have a lot of ammo to draw on here. So what I've done in this side is I've tried to make an ad that really stands out from everything else on the page. So I've put a quotation mark in the title, so we haven't even got the keyword in the title. That goes against standard, AdWords best practice, so-called wisdom, but sometimes you have to go against the best practice in order to, swim away from the group. So I've also, included a benefit in here because the benefit is, that we get our arrows in the gold, which is what every archer really wants to do. I've included the coach in here, so if you think back to the Swiss Army section, then what we're doing is we're bringing in other actors to have an impact in this relationship. So the coach is one actor who we're trying to please. So my coach can't believe the change. And if you notice the voice in this, there's voice in this line. There's tempo in it. There's emotion with the exclamation mark at the end. And then I've put in quality bows for record scores, and that's really getting a chip on the shoulder that every archer has. Every archer is unhappy with their scores, which is a fact. So try and get it, try and scratch or aggravate the chip that they've got on their shoulder. So you can see that that's a very different ad to the ads that we created initially. Another thing here is I've got punctuation here at the end of the first description line. If this ad appears at the top of the page, what Google will do is they will then move the first description line next to the headline, and you'll get like quite a long title. So it's generally quite good to have some sort of punctuation at the end of the first description line. I've actually done this in one of the other ads, so you'll notice that there's a full stop here. What that means is that if this ad appears at the top of the page, you'll get Google will merge quality archery bows and this line into the title. So I tend to find that works quite well. The other ad that I've created here is one that plays on punctuation a bit. So something that you can do is you can add dashes at the start of the description lines that makes it look more like a bullet. That can make a difference. So it's certainly worth a go. There's plenty of things to be testing here. In general, what I start off doing is I start off capitalizing every word. In general, I find that helps, although sometimes you'll create the same ad with uncapitalized wording and you'll find that it does better. So it's all stuff that you have to test. So have a bit of a play around with that. But that's the basis of creating ads, really. You're going to create probably more ads than this. You might create 5 to 7 ads in an ad group. And then that's going to feed into the ads review process where we'll see actually later on which ads have done best.